And, well, that's that. Except that that was supposed to happen. And now it's the Rorschach's turn to freeze over. And Harry's going for a dip again. This time, though, we actually have to swim. As the motion controls say, just keep alternating moving the Wiimote and then uncheck forward, kind of mimicking a doggy paddle motion. If you want, you can hit B to look under the water. There's some interesting scenes down there. Just don't get too terribly distracted. Like earlier, though, I don't think you can actually drown here in such a way that it ends the game. Just keep going as much as you can. Oh, that's not good. We're slowly getting closer to shore. But the thing of it is, I'm not entirely sure that you can make it. I want to say you always come up just short. Because, yeah, I mean, I'm not getting anywhere at this point. We can look under, but there's nothing else for us to see down there. However, Sybil to the rescue.
You're not stopping me.
I'm not here to stop you. I didn't have to fish you out of the water, did I?
Stop talking. You can't talk me out of this.
I'm not here to stop you. I pulled your file at the station. I told you that, right? If you're telling the truth, this doesn't make sense. But I think you are telling the truth. I believe you think you're Harry Mason. Hell, I believe you are Harry Mason. But Harry Mason was killed in a car crash 18 years ago. You want answers? I guess they're waiting in there.
That's the lighthouse.
Nothing's quite what you expect, is it? I'm gonna stick with my gut from now on. Would have saved us both a lot of trouble. Hope this works out for you.
So, quite a revelation there. All we can do is see just what's up with the lighthouse. Doesn't quite seem like a conventional lighthouse, after all.
It's a clinic.
Yes, it's actually the Lighthouse Clinic. M. Kaufman, M.D. Counseling and Family Therapy. Before going down the hall, make sure to check out this little statue in the corner. All you have to do is open the top of the head, and we get Adam. Never forget. Another photo locket, this time with a picture of Harry. And with that, we have the final memento. All that's left is to see just where all this is headed.
This is going nowhere. I'm spelling it out, but you're not listening. Your troubled school days? How you're conflicted about marriage? Your denial of death? The unfounded guilt? Abnormal sexuality? 18 years of denial. A whole universe of fantasy in that thick skull of yours. A skull teeming with agents of repression. Blind children clutching photos in the dark. Pale freaks goggle-eyed from watching home movies on loop. The term is complicated grief. But it's simple, isn't it? A young girl. Her parents don't get along. She blames herself, as all children do. Then daddy dies. What's a girl to do? Deny that daddy died. Deny who daddy was. What 7-year-old actually knows who their parents are anyway? So she obsesses and obsesses over this fantasy dad propping up her make-believe with scraps of a happy life that never was, scraps of a father who never existed. Wake up! Your dad wasn't a hero. Wasn't your knight in shining armor. He was a human being. You never knew him. And you never will. The dad walking around in your head isn't even a ghost. He never existed. A Frankenstein's monster, a child's fantasy. But you're alive. Your mother is alive. She's not the monster you make her out to be. You need to live your life. Cheryl.
You've been with me for so long.
I always will be.
Careful.
Sure.
Harry.
We've said enough. It's just... Sweetie, don't film this. You know this has nothing to do with you, right? Even though Mom and Dad don't love each other anymore, we both love you. And we always will. Come on.
So with that, the music is about to get vocal, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that down to prevent any blocked in Germany situations there. We have some analysis being written out on the right. I'll start in on that after a bit more is written because, well, he's kind of slow about it. So the big twist there, it was Cheryl undergoing therapy the whole time, and Harry never really existed outside of her mind. So it's kind of hard to say what really happened and what didn't. We'll analyze it more a bit later on. Patient 32, Initial Assessment. Transcribing my notes on the patient. Overall, an interesting case. In these notes, I shall restrict myself to more general observations on the personality and behavioral aspects demonstrated during our time together. Detailed discussion of delusions, etc., etc., will be saved for a more specific addendum. So this is affected by how the game has interpreted your psych profile from here on out. So it's kind of interesting to see how they've analyzed your playstyle. A bit of a dreamer here. Seems driven by positive ideals. Wants to help, befriend, nurture, and otherwise enhance the lives of others, whether they want this or not. Quite interested in reflection and self-improvement. Sees life as a journey. Resorts to a lot of tired growth and floral metaphors. Seems averse to conflict. Well, the game kind of forced that one on me. Likes to be referred to as a romantic. Likes to rely on intuition. Therapy felt like the right thing to do. And yeah, I know what they mean by averse to conflict. They don't mean the fact that you can't actually fight in this game, more that you try to avoid bad situations. Serious about relationships. Seems quite committed and family-focused. Pretty straight-laced, and I don't think this is a front. Dependable and committed, but lousy in bed? Well, I can say... Hey! Rude much? Sometimes called quiet. Prides self on being focused when working toward goals and objectives. Very good at avoiding distractions. Whatever they are. You can type a little faster there, Dr. K. And also, yes, for those who didn't quite catch it, Dr. K, the K stands for Kaufman. So, he was another interpretation of another original Silent Hill character. Claims to treat body well. Not necessarily a clean living type, but knows what is good for self. Thinks this has some importance. Organized. Thinks others would criticize for being too old-fashioned in some beliefs. Feel myself getting a bit bored just writing this down. Well, screw you too, Doc! Patient in one word, dependable. So, summing up, am sure Patient will be back. Lots of uncovered ground. Don't believe we've seen everything yet. Might be worth going back to the start and re-examining with benefit of what we know now. Think Patient will agree? Well, Dr. K, for once, I do agree with you. We've just scratched the surface. We still have several other endings to go. So, we'll cover that in the next few runs of the game. Now, of course, videos from here on out are going to be a bit sporadic, because this is going to be a lot of just going back through the game again and picking and choosing important footage along the way to show how to get the other endings. Now, it's a bit more involved in this game because there's a lot that can change as far as how people react to you throughout the course of the game, so it's going to be picking and choosing what I feel is important to show. So anyway, yeah, the ending is actually in two parts. There's the encounter ending and the videotape ending. There are 3 encounter endings and 4 videotape endings. There's also this part of the ending where it just shows how many of the mementos you found. We got everything. And they're just little bits and pieces that Cheryl's been hanging on to. And so with that, we've reached the end. So all we can really do is save our game. And that'll basically give us a new game plus that we can work from the next time for the rest of the endings. So anyway, the endings we just saw there. Now the encounter endings, those don't really have official names. But there are 3 variants, and that's how Cheryl reacts to the therapy. In this case, she reacted positively. She came to the conclusion that she has to move on and live her life, but she can remember the good parts of her father's life, and so she sort of froze him in her memory. The videotape endings, those do have official names, and the one we got there is called Love Lost, in which Harry assures her that though the love went out of the life between Dahlia and himself, they both still are there for her, and they always will be. So, with that, we basically got the 2 best endings that we can get. Things can only get worse from here. And, well, of course they will. In the next run, we're basically going to make Harry into a jerk. I'm probably going to do one analysis video first, though, to talk more about the psych profile in depth, and then we'll get to the next playthrough, Like I said though, videos will be a little bit sporadic from here on out just because I have to pick and choose a lot of different bits of footage. So we'll go from there. But with that, that's the end of the first run. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you're enjoying the series so far, and I shall see you again next time. Until then, fare thee well.